Even though it doesn't feel like it anymore, but technically we are still in a bear market. Besides, most people expect a calm year where prices will move sideways. However, I still believe that 2023 will be an exciting year, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem because of new projects launching. In today's episode, we will talk about 5 Cosmos projects which are about to launch and we at FRENS VALIDATOR are most excited about. And we also believe that you cannot afford to miss out on these projects. With that being said, welcome to the FRENS VALIDATOR YouTube channel. I'm Juri Maibaum, co-founder of FRENS VALIDATOR, and we believe that by 2030, 90% of all financial transactions will be executed on top of proof-of-stake chains. On this YouTube channel, you will learn how to profit from the proof-of-stake run-up, how to make a passive income in the crypto industry with staking, and how to stay ahead of the curve. If this sounds interesting to you, then please go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So let's dive into the 5 projects that will launch in 2023 and you cannot afford to miss out on.
Don't worry, we are friends.
Let us start with a launch that already impacted the Cosmos ecosystem in 2022. I'm talking, of course, about DYDX. DYDX is a perpetual protocol that became big in the Ethereum ecosystem. Perpetual contracts are a type of derivative. Derivatives represent the largest part of today's financial industry. Derivatives track the price of an underlying asset. This allows capital to flow quicker. For example, gold. Let's say you buy a gold derivative. This will allow you to trade gold without holding the physical version of it. But all in all, DYDX has definitely pioneered a path here that other OG Ethereum protocols might follow in the future as well. For example, MakerDAO, Compound or Archway. Will these Ethereum protocols also launch their own Cosmos SDK chains in the future? We will see. But if the launch of DYDX is successful and the advantages of building an own blockchain become obvious to the entire crypto industry, then we can very well imagine a narrative shift towards DeFi blue chips building their own Cosmos SDK chains. And of course, this would be extremely bullish for the entire Interchain. DYDX is an exchange where people can buy perpetual contracts that derive the value of an underlying cryptocurrency. Let us dive deeper into this. So, as you can see here, this is the interface where people can trade different cryptocurrencies in the form of perpetual contracts. And DYDX, in fact, has been one of the most successful Ethereum protocols, especially when we talk about TVL. So, DYDX attracted a lot of liquidity. But in 2022, finally, DYDX announced the launch of its own Cosmos chain, and an own chain will give DYDX way more room to experiment and to optimize its product. But another advantage here is, of course, interoperability, because by enabling IBC, DYDX can interact with all the cool Cosmos chains such as Osmosis. And finally, fees, guys. Fees also play a very elementary role here, because now with an own chain, DYDX can benefit more from all the fees it generates, and this is especially interesting when we talk about MEV. In case you want to dive deeper in all of this, I can highly recommend the video we have recorded with Paul Bergman from DYDX very recently. I will leave a link in the comment section below because this is where you can really dive deeper and understand how DYDX wants to profit more from the fees it generates. And also, MEV has been a pretty elementary part of our interview, so feel free to check it out. Another project that you cannot miss out on is Celestia. Celestia's launch is very well anticipated, not only in the Cosmos ecosystem, but in the entire crypto industry. We could talk about Celestia for an hour or so since the tech is pretty complex, and besides, Celestia is doing something very revolutionary. But here's the TLDR. Celestia follows a pretty revolutionary approach in terms of blockchain design. The project will be the first so-called modular blockchain network. Modular blockchains separate consensus and execution in 2 layers. And I think here is a pretty good graphic to explain this. So here we have the traditional monolithic architecture. All the blockchains, like Ethereum and Solana work like this. They have the consensus and the execution layer in one layer, but Celestia will do it very, very differently. They have the consensus layer and then they have another layer, which is the execution layer. And by separating these 2 layers, Celestia will find it apparently easier to scale. And besides that, and I think this is also a core invention of the Celestia blockchain is Celestia also offers a so-called roll-up layer here. And this allows developers to deploy customized chains on top of it. But because all of this is so revolutionary and exciting, Celestia also already has raised a lot of money. Here we see the CoinDesk article where Celestia raised $55 million from investors, and this was in October last year. And in case you remember, guys, October was quite a bearish month, and still Celestia was able to raise a lot of money during these market conditions. So this is pretty exceptional, and this made Celestia become a unicorn. And a unicorn is a project that is worth at least $1 billion. So yes, the Celestia ecosystem, so to say, is worth around $1 billion already, even though the project has not launched yet. So this is pretty interesting, but it also puts some pressure on Celestia, obviously, because now Celestia also has to prove a lot to justify this valuation. But personally, I'm very optimistic. I believe Celestia can do it. Celestia is, again, a very revolutionary project. So this is the reason why I am looking forward to Celestia launching. And again, Celestia is a pretty complex topic. So this is why we will also publish a deep dive very soon to explain Celestia in very simple words to you. So stay tuned. Let's move on with a project that will join the race of rewarding Web3 developers. Archway. Archway is a Cosmos SDK chain that will enable IBC from the very beginning. Archway sales pitch is rewarding Web3 developers by tracking how much their dApps on the chain have been used. The more people have interacted with the dApp of a developer, the more he or she gets rewarded. Another advantage of building on top of Archway is that applications automatically are interoperable with the rest of the Cosmos ecosystem, since, again, Archway will be IBC enabled from the very beginning. The reason why we at FRENS VALIDATOR are so excited about Archway's launch is because Archway will join the race among two other blockchains that follow the same approach, Near and Juno. Near is about to enable IBC very soon, and Archway also follows a pretty similar approach to Archway. It will be interesting to see which of the three projects can attract more users and developers. But so also, the arrival of Archway in the Interchain is refreshing, with yet another project that provides an infrastructure for developers to build applications on top of it. We might see more actual users coming to the Interchain. The next launch we have to talk about is Interchain Security. Obviously, because Interchain Security is the most anticipated update since the shipment of IBC in 2021. Interchain Security will allow projects to leverage the security of the Cosmos Hub. Projects that will do so from the very beginning are, for example, Quicksilver, Stride, Neutron, and a chain introduced by the crypto company Circle to issue digital currencies such as native USDC. When leveraging Interchain Security, projects are partially secured by the Cosmos Hub, the largest and oldest Cosmos blockchain. That said, validators on the Cosmos Hub also automatically validate transactions on these so-called consumer chains. The cool thing about Interchain Security is that it will give value accrual to Cosmos' native cryptocurrency, Atom. When staking Atom today, you solidly secure the Cosmos Hub. But in the future, with Interchain Security, you will also help validate transactions on other Cosmos blockchains, so the consumer chains. And this is why you and the validators will also earn fees generated on these chains. As you can imagine, many cosmonauts expect this to be bullish for the Atom price long term. And the best thing, Interchain Security is about to launch very soon. If you want to learn more about Interchain Security, stay tuned, as we are planning to publish a huge documentary about Interchain Security in the next weeks. Finally, let us wrap up today's episode with a project that you probably did not hear about yet, Soarchain. Soarchain will also be a Cosmos SDK chain, and the launch of Soarchain is anticipated for Q3 2023. The cool thing about Soarchain is that the project is doing something completely different compared to all the other projects that I have mentioned in this list already. Remember when Tesla used to be the most valuable company in the world? Back then, many people asked themselves why this is the case, because other car companies like Toyota, Volkswagen or Ford were producing way more cars. The reason: Tesla is also sort of a data company. When driving a Tesla, you collect the data of the underlying road. And this is the reason why Tesla became the most valuable company back in 2020. In order to collect this data, a special device is needed. And this device is tailored to Tesla, similar to Apple's Lightning cable. So, how can other car companies compete? And this is where Soarchain comes into play. And what makes me so excited about Soarchain is that, first of all, the team mainly comes from the automotive industry, so these guys really know what they talk about. And another thing that makes me so excited about Soarchain is that they followed the approach product first. This means that Soarchain decided to first focus on the product, and the product is the device you can see here. On the right hand, you have the standard device. The standard device will allow you just to collect data from the roads you're driving on. And the left product here, you can see here, this is a device that gives you more flexibility and gives you more extras. So if you are a car freak and you are really in love with the product, then the device on the left is the device of choice for you. But generally what this device does is you plug it into your car, and then the car collects, or the device better said, collects the data of the roads you are driving on. And after that, you can commercialize your data into Soarcoins. And this is where the blockchain aspect comes into play. The blockchain, again, will be launched most likely around Q3 2023. And this makes me generally so excited about it, because another thing I didn't mention yet is that Soarchain already confirmed a collaboration with Suzuki. So the next generation of Suzuki cars will have these devices plugged into from the very beginning. And this is so bullish, if you ask me, because let's be honest, this device can really bring added value to millions of people because they can commercialize data. And yeah, I mean, what can I tell you guys? Normally, I'm very skeptic if I hear about blockchains like this, because you have a lot of projects that say, hey, we want to bring off-chain data on-chain, and then they fail because this is very, very tricky. And often, if you also need to produce a hardware product, you see a lot of projects building the blockchain first, and then they try to figure out the hardware stuff. And then you are waiting until destiny, until the actual product is shipped and adopted. But here we really see it the other way around. Again, the product is built already, ready to go. And this device, yes, will be plugged into the next generation of Suzuki cars. And yeah, the blockchain itself, again, Cosmos SDK chain. And if you ask me, this is really what mass adoption looks like, because most people won't even recognize that they are using a blockchain when using this device. They will just collect data, and then they say, oh, wow, look at this. I have collected some coins, and then they can reuse the coins for other purposes. So yeah, this makes me extremely, extremely, extremely excited about Soarchain launching, because I believe this could be the very, very first time a blockchain succeeds in bringing off-chain data on-chain. And of course, this is absolutely huge. These are the top 5 launches we at FRENS Validator are most excited about. Please note though that this list hasn't been in a particular order. Also keep in mind that launches in the Cosmos ecosystem are also often connected with an airdrop. Just saying. But now let us know which launch are you most excited about. Did we miss out on any project? Comment in the comment section below. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel if you don't want to miss out on any alpha coming from the Proof of Stake world. And with that being said, I hope I will see you the next time.